This insightful podcast episode provides a glimpse into the experiences and insights of the Build Insite team, a passionate group dedicated to continuous learning and improvement in the construction industry. We emphasize the importance of collaboration, sharing knowledge, and exploring new technologies to advance the craft of building. We also offer valuable perspectives on starting and running a construction business, from taking it slow to finding mentors. Listeners will appreciate the team's authenticity as we share ideas on building science, business ownership, and personal growth. Our commitment to healthy homes and sustainable practices comes across clearly. If you want to hear more innovative builders pushing the envelope, be sure to check out Build Insite. The Build Insite team offer real-world stories and actionable tips to help you on your building journey. I do want to share, maybe your thoughts around what you think is lacking in industry when it comes to this. How can builders be better placed to learn more about the financials and understanding and running them? Maybe start with you, Dean. I know that's something you've mentioned just before, so I wanted to circle back to that.
Yeah, I think probably up until about 6-7 years ago, I probably looked at projects as what suits us and what we'd find enjoyment out of. So I'd look at a house and say, oh, that'd be great. How good would that be to look on our portfolio? And, to build that, it'd be so much fun. But at the end of the day, when you make the decision to become a builder, you've got to separate from being a carpenter, for example, who loves building, getting dirty on the tools and building something and looking back on it and reflecting on, I've built that, to you've got to become a businessman and a businesswoman. We've got plenty of great women building and in the trades. But if you don't have a business mind and you don't, that's fine. We're not all natural business people, but it goes back to then what can you do to actually become a better business person and run a better business? And, I think we're in an age where you can approach anyone, like you could approach any of us, approach other professionals in the industry, but it's okay to actually put your hand up and say, I need to go and get some help or need to go and get some support, whether it's a business coach, a financial planner, or all of them, plenty of people out there. Like we deal with contracts. If you don't know contracts, so go out and actually study contracts, pay the money and get, as we do, get the solicitor to review all of your documentation. There's real legalities there at the end. You can actually ruin yourself and lose your home, lose everything you've worked for if you're not running a good business. And again, it's processes and having good people. And yeah, just because it might be a single builder or, have a partner, it doesn't mean that you're actually going to be exempt from going bankrupt or, something like that. We're seeing a lot in our industry. So I know for ourselves, actually we've come from a business family, but so we've got great people to call on and learn from with our parents especially. But to actually go out, jump into things like Live Life Build and get, financial assisting. There's other people like Katie from Profit First, for example, that you can integrate into your business to set some systems up and so forth. So, just step out there and even things like audio books and podcasts and stuff these days. There's just from a tap of a button on your phone, you can learn things, and it's okay not to know everything. I think you'd be full of shit if you think you know everything.
What about you, David? Who's in your team that surrounds you, and what do you think is best for those listening to be able to go and learn more about how they can be better at finances in their business?
I personally think it's tracking your numbers. I know I've made plenty of mistakes over the years, and it probably, goes back to what I said at the start, that the best way to learn about business is to be in business. So over my project, I probably have about, give or take, 30 odd line items that, it might be anywhere from the preliminary to higher items to the carpentry fix and everything in between that, that I know exactly what dollars go into each component of the build. And that's taken a few years to sort of get a really good understanding of, what I should allow when I'm quoting. I think, if you get on top of that, you have a really good understanding of your overheads and, you're open that, you need to make money, you need a profit margin. Any business that thinks they don't need a profit margin, they shouldn't be in business. I don't know about you boys, but I do enjoy what I do, but at the same time, it's a living for me. I've got, mouth fed at home. So, if you track your numbers, understand, your overheads and, allow yourself enough profit, you touch wood, you shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. I know you're big on tracking the team's hours too. So
yep.
How do you go about doing that?
Yeah. So again, I use an app, which is Tradify. And every day the boys are required to, whatever hours they work on the job site, to put into the app they have on their phone. And, throughout the 8-hour day, they may do, 4 different tasks for, for whatever hours, that sort of thing. And they just break that down in those 30 categories I have in my quoting spreadsheet. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep, which gives you the confidence when you're quoting on new projects that you've got that historical data to call
exactly.
up.
So when I'm, quoting on another one, I'll look back and say, on the last job for the, fix, there was roughly so many hours on, then we just add that to the next job and that's the thing. So it's a sort of something we're always, looking at and tracking. So
that's your data. Then you can use that as a tool.
Yep.
You're writing the overheads there, mate. Like the overheads, if people don't know their overheads, they've probably gone backwards pretty quick.
Yep.
It's not just a matter of chucking 15% on to the end of your quote.
That's it. Yeah.
That's probably not even going to cover most people's overheads.
Yep. Yeah. And you're spot on. Every business is unique and different. Like it's, I'm a very small builder and there's a lot of big builders out there that have, half a dozen people sitting in an office. So they need more overheads and that sort of thing and, more projects.
Yeah.
I guess something worth noting is like sometimes when you, like people hear, track your numbers, know your numbers, and they might get this anxiety of like, I don't even know what that means, or like, what is this numbers language that these nerds are speaking in, right? But at the end of the day, all of that information, it's around you anyway. You just need to come up with something that suits you and how your brain thinks to capture that information. You don't necessarily have to do a whole lot of extra work, but like you say, Dave, with like getting the guys to do their timesheets and that links into part of like your estimation and all that sort of stuff. Like that's what Zane and I do. We're fortunate. We use Build and we can track our time inside that, and we do our estimating inside Build, and it talks to our accounting software and whatever. It's great. But like just getting that in place, it's just gonna it just gives you so much clarity on what goes on and your ability to make your decisions that you can make because you have the clarity and the proper information, and you're not like showing up to work, getting your nail bag out, smacking some nails in. Don't know if I don't know where I'm at on the job. I don't know if I'm making money, losing money. I don't know what,
Yep, that makes complete sense. Do you have anything, Luke, yourself?
Without repeating what everyone else has said, but similar thing. I don't think there's one key answer to how to actually track it more properly. Like, for example, we use 3 different platforms to try and keep on talking about data. Like, we use Build Insite for estimating and project management, as well as communication. We use Slack. The guys track their hours in Google Calendar. So it'll be a similar thing, like out of Build Insite, all your cost codes that we'll put on a sheet, upload it to the project in Slack so that the guys can see it. And then at the end of each day, saying they'll create an event in their Google Calendar under their name, put a cost code next to it so that at the end of the week, Hannah in the office, she can allocate it to the project. Because I think that exactly, like if you're not tracking all of that time, it's the quickest way to run yourself out the back door. Like if you don't learn from that project and realise whether you've actually made money out of it, it's cost you money, how can you price the next job correctly to ensure that you're going to keep surviving? Like it's, again, without sounding like a broken record, knowing your numbers, tracking your data, that data tracking is probably one of the most valuable things you can have. Because if you don't know what the expenses are, what it costs you to run a business, how can you, like if you're just throwing a supposed industry standard percentage on the project, you're your own worst enemy. And don't believe, I think that's one of the biggest advice I can give to anyone listening. Don't listen to an industry standard. There is no such thing as an industry standard percentage that you should put on a project. It's such an individual thing that, don't listen to what they say. As long as you're comfortable in what you've got, profit's not a dirty word. You need to make enough money to be able to cover your own expenses and still make enough money to make a comfortable living to support you and your family as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. We do it as well. On the design side of things, we're no different. We're running ClickUp. We're tracking, hours in certain stages of projects. We know how long it's taking us. We can then look at that and adjust accordingly moving forward for new projects. I got to keep it with you, Luke. So, why Build Insight? Why are we doing
Build
this?
Insight.
You're really in the heavy.
I think
there,
everybody.
I'm glad you got that one first, Luke, not me.
Straight. I'll tell you one of these. I think it's exactly the same as all of you guys. I think we're on the same mission. I've just got an incredible passion for wanting to build better, but not just keep it all your own secret. Like actually share that information out there to raise the entire industry. Like it's ridiculous the lack of education that there really is for our industry. Like how easy it is. I mean, it's not super simple, but how easy it is to go and get a contractor's license. Like, go to your trade certificate. Sweet, I've done 4 years. I'm now a carpenter. I can go and sit an interview for that. Or I don't think you'd say actually you need to sit an interview. If you go just for your trade certificate, they'll just give you a license and you can slowly work up from there. But there is not enough education on what the minimum standards are. Like, perfect example, all these the NCC 2022 changes that have been out. I don't know if I'm sure you guys are in the same boat, but I have really, really struggled to try and find any industry body, anybody that can actually provide the correct information on exactly what's changed and provide the detail for everyone to actually understand it. I've been to a few of the seminars myself, watched a few of the Zoom calls that they do online. And it's just, you kind of feel like they're glazing over everything that's actually really important and focusing on, I don't even know what they're focusing on. It's not making sense. So Build Insight for me sparked, I suppose, from passion for wanting to display what I do and hoping that if by putting myself out there, again, I don't do everything in the perfect way. There are better ways to do it. If someone sees what I'm doing, and I'm trying to portray that so everyone gets an understanding. Someone may then comment on what I'm doing and say, hey, great idea what you're doing. Have you ever thought of maybe doing it in this way? And then that will also increase my level of education and maybe think about the next one a little bit different. So sort of probably got off a bit of a tangent here, but yeah, overall it's just having a passion for what I do and wanting to share it with everybody.
Yeah, no, I think, as you've mentioned already, there might be a few broken record moments here, but I'm going to pass to you now, Sean. So what does it mean for you? What's Build Insight to you?
I guess there's a few different things, right? So one of them could just be the old saying of like a problem shared is a problem halved, right? And there's like so many of us and we could have so many problems. And if we all share that, like how much quicker are we going to get to a solution on that problem? So there's that one insight. And then the other side of it is, you could live your whole life in one lane with one experience and get like this one set of outcomes. Or if we all just can collaborate and share our stories, share our wins, share our losses, like look at that force multiplication. That's just going bang, 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 bang. Everyone's sharing with everyone. Everyone's getting better. It's not competition. Like there is enough work out there for everyone. So why not work together to bring all of us, like everyone up together, which then that raises the industry standard. Everyone's getting better. Everyone's making more money. Everyone's got better mental health because they're not stressing about money. They've got more time to spend with their family, go out in nature, lift weights, whatever it is to do. So I guess for me, it's just like, that collaborative thing is just like for the greater good.
Yeah. Yep. It's a solution in that way for sure. I think I'm trying to reflect on what like a good takeaway for that would be. And it's like just to express like you're not alone. No one's alone. You don't have to be. There's people out there like us that, have come together and are able to share that. And yeah, I know you're about to probably take this quote, Dean, but the rising tide floats all boats. So
love it.
Yeah. What does it mean for you? What's Build Insight?
I think Probably for too long. If I have one regret right now, it would be that I didn't do things like this earlier. And when I say things, I'll be specific: networking, collaborating, and just getting around like-minded people. Making sure I'm the dumbest person in the room, just to really push myself. Learned a lot of lessons. I'm like hitting my sort of second half of my 30s well and truly, and I think I hit my 30s and I was like, I wouldn't regret a thing. And I look back, I've learned more since I was 30 in the last 6-7 years than I learned previous to that, across the board. For me, being a dad for young kids, they're at impressionable ages. I've had an awesome support network with a great, amazing woman who's been my wife for many years now. And, I just feel like it's a time where I want to sort of give some stuff back. So it's not necessarily just to show what we're doing building wise, show those insights, but yeah, just things that I probably learned the hard way through personal, well-being, mental states you get yourself into. It's easy to dig yourself into a hole and then you feel like you can't get out of it. But reality is you got so many people around you that are in support networks, or more than willing, even just a standard conversation that leads to sort of learning something or helping someone. So yeah, Build Insight for me is definitely something that I'm, want to be all in for, to just help people and, show the education. And yeah, it's cool. Like, there's so much involved with, we're builders, we build stuff, but there's 80% of what we do doesn't have anything to do with what's on a building site. So pretty keen to really dive in and show everybody what's actually behind the scenes. And if we teach one person, it's worth our time.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. David, what does it mean for you? What does Build Insight for you?
Yeah, very similar to the rest of the boys, to be honest. So I sort of touched on it earlier. Around the time I first started EcoWise Homes, it was I was craving for, like a mentor or someone to trying to show me, how to run a successful building company. Right now, I don't think I'm anything special with what I do, and that's the thing. But I've nearly 10 years as a building company now, so I sort of seen a few things and sort of understand what I need to do to be sustainable as a business. So for me, it's about putting that content out there. And even before Build Insight was created, just as EcoWise Homes, putting information and content out there. So as Dean said, if one person gets something out of it, it's worthwhile. And I don't want people to go through the same experiences I have been through, and I want to make it, to be try to make it so being a builder can be really enjoyable for someone going into it. And, when, instead of just working in silos, boys, that we can collaborate together, and someone just has to follow one page instead of having to follow 5 different pages and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, we were all producing all of our own content, sometimes together, and then we were posting it individually.
Yeah.
So why were we doing that? We could have all been putting it all together,
Yep.
and having a greater good. I mean,
what about yourself, great man?
Yeah. No, I think I generally enjoy it. I generally enjoy sharing my knowledge. I've always enjoyed being. I'll use the word trainer if that's the right terminology. I don't want to say educator because I'm not qualified to do so. But yeah, I've always enjoyed passing that down. And I used to say that I would reach out to designers and I'd get blank. And I always found builders would be super receptive. They'd be the first ones to respond back and have a chat and share knowledge. Whereas for whatever reason it was at that time, designers were a little bit more reluctant to do so. Thankfully, I've now made friends, so to speak, and I have designers I can reach out to and have great conversations with, and a couple particularly that I hold in high regard, and that's awesome. But yeah, it does. There's reward that comes with education, and I don't know how you all feel when you get a message from someone and they're like, "Hey, thanks so much for sharing that," or "Thank you." Like, it feels good. Why don't we do things that feel good? So yeah, just do it. It makes you happy and you're passionate about it. So that's what I am.
It doesn't cost anything. As Shawnee said, there's plenty of work out there for everybody. You don't have to be in competition with others. You can learn. And yeah, like you said, you can give someone something for free. It costs you your time. We've got plenty of it if you use it wisely.
Yeah.
And I think you get more reward out of that than trying to keep it up your sleeve and not share it with anybody.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just going to bring my friends, the designers, back into the mix there again. But, talking with them, not only is my, my knowledge in personal well-being and my health improved by sharing with them and what they do in their businesses, but my business has also improved. They've been able to share things with me that has absolutely accelerated my business and really compounded things. So that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't working together and, sharing that and, collaborating on things. So, yeah.
I'm actually one of the things I'm most excited about with Build Insight is actually to what you're going to bring to the table, Anthony, because we get insights
We're just builders.
We're builders, but we get some really cool insights behind the scenes of what happens with good design and how that transpires through amazing collaborations and bringing today's buildings up to speed. So yeah, look out for some of that.
Yeah, I do share that a lot and don't hit record. So I probably need to get better at it. Whether it's NCC updates and, we're usually fairly across that because we just are. We're head in that book day in, day out. Standards, and then there's also the building science aspect as well, which is just an absolute passion of mine and always trying to learn and understand that more. And because we're at the computer, we have software packages now that allow us to be able to do things like you wouldn't believe. Some of the BIM modeling software that we have and the capabilities we have with that alongside some of the, the thermal analysis, like it's going in the right direction from my perspective, and it's just going to assist us more and more and more when it comes to actually getting on site and building. I guess what's next? Who wants to take the lead? Who wants to say, like, what's next for Build Insight? Where do you think we're going to take it?
Dean, back when you
come on, Dean. I can see you itching there.
I was going to say, let's get Daz on next so we can get him to talk. But I suppose for everybody listening, we're just getting started. There's a common theme with what we're doing, and that is, sitting here involved with you guys, is we've got something that just involves an amazing group of people. So each and every one of the guys has, in some way, shape, or form, made me a better person, better builder from our networking over the recent years. And, we just want to probably amp that right up and give everybody a chance to sort of see something that will help them. So that might be a podcast episode you listen to. It might be a YouTube show. It might be just a reel that you see that's got, a building method on it that you haven't seen before. If we don't, as builders or business people or just individuals, take a step to go and learn something new, no one's coming to help you. You've got to take the step yourself to actually, whether it's approach someone for a conversation or go and do a course or, get a coach involved or something. So, yeah, we've got some awesome ideas and collaborative opportunities at the moment, and we're just kind of having fun with it and going from there. So we definitely would love the likes and subscribes, and just reach out and say hi. You're not going to lose anything.
Yeah, I mean, if you already follow all our individual content, it's all going to be released on Build Insight now at a single location, so that's not going to change. It's just a different new name. The podcast, that's going to be a continuous thing moving forward. Fantastic guest already on the list, so that'll be I'm going to enjoy.
To us there for a second.
Well, you are fantastic. It's all downhill from here, really. And I think one of the other things that I think Luke sort of led the charge on here, but actual boots on the ground feedback on tools and particular products, because that's what's going to make the homes get built, the buildings get built. So can't leave that out of the equation either. So product review and tool review and just general opinions of people who are actually using them in real life on building sites, giving their honest opinions. And that's just going to be how it is, I think, for us, moving forward, just more of that good content, more of that educational content.
Probably something just to add in there too, Anthony, which is kind of exciting as well. From all of our own reaches and what we're doing individually with our businesses and collectively with Build Insight, we've got some stuff coming up that involves you're going to Lithuania. We're going to be having some real insights into what's happening with some exciting building technologies and suppliers coming over. We got things going on with interstate. We're obviously spread out, so yeah, there's some real mix of what's going on nationally and then even internationally. So that's going to be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up. I'm really looking forward to showcasing all of the world-class prefabrication facilities and construction methodology from Europe. That'll be, probably in about 5 to 6 weeks' time. You'll start to see content of that being released. Look forward to sharing what happens, off the job site from my perspective as well. So taking requests. But I just want to, I think, if anyone else has anything to add to that, otherwise, I might just sort of round out to just summarize what the essence of Build Insite is. And I think we've certainly spoken fairly, broadly today about what some of the pain points are, what some of the solutions are that we find in industry, what as individuals we want to see, grow and flourish, as we sort of already touched on. Like one of our core values is thriving. So we want to make sure that is the case for those who are coming to absorb our educational content. The intention is for you to be able to benefit from that and grow. So ultimately, this is an online platform. It's quite broad in what the content will be, and it'll be driven by us as we follow our passions and what we love, I think. Is anyone else have anything further to add that no, it's all smiles. All right.
Just I think if you're in a bit of a spot and you do listen to this, just feel that you can jump on a social media platform, shoot a message out. Yeah, it's not a scary place. There's no judgment. I know there's quite a few of the states have things like builders breakfasts and stuff. Like Luke and myself, both individually between Melbourne and Adelaide, have recently sort of sparked those up as well. But there's definitely a place where you can reach out and sort of put your hand up, ask for some advice, and if that's what Build Insite can help do as well, then that's what we're here for too.
Yeah, that's no truer words. Like, I think I'm just going to sum it up with this. This is the rise of the builder, and I think it's long overdue for this modern age way of thinking. And from here on, it's real people, real insight.
That was a good one.
Nailed it!